You guys are, I guess, in business together, right? How is that? Like, there's the argument of, well, you don't get into business with your partner. It can be ugly. Taking business home, when does it stop?
Yeah. Oh man, it was a tough decision to want to actually commit to doing it with Nicole. But I knew in my heart it was the best thing for the future of our business. But I like to think things through. And I've seen a lot of...
He's not rash with this. I'm very let's do it. And he needs to think about things.
I talk to
You're like me. You're like him.
What's your guys' sign?
Oh boy. I'm an Aries.
This right now?
You're an Aries. Just really quick.
Scorpio.
Okay.
So I'm a Cancer.
Yeah.
She's a Taurus.
I'm a Taurus.
So she's stubborn.
Okay.
Which can make business hard.
Here we go.
So I thought this through
you brought it up.
for a month. I was like, is this the right move? But at the same time, I was thinking Nicole's skill set's very different than mine. She's super creative. She was already helping me with my Instagram at the time for the business with graphics, design, captions, social media posts. She was just really good at that. It wasn't a natural affinity for me, so I kind of passed that to her. So I figured if we did partner, we could kind of separate our lines of the business out. And we eventually decided to do it. This was during COVID when we were bored as hell. We're like, we got nothing better to do, so let's try this.
Join.
And yeah, we joined forces, and I think that was huge for us in defining our roles within the business. So Nicole took marketing, social media, branding, and I took business operations and that kind of stuff, the stuff that I was naturally good at. And I think that was a big piece. But at one point, I feel like we got so intertwined with our work that it meshed with our relationship. And then at that point, we were just like, there was no line. So I almost started seeing her as a business partner, not as my life partner.
True.
And that was really weird. And it kind of threw things out of balance for a little bit. So we actually had to kind of take a step back and reassess and say, hey, what can we do to create some sort of gray line or even a hard line in between work and our relationship? So we created some rules. Nicole,
and we're also really passionate about our job. We love it, and it's all consuming. So sometimes we have to remember to turn it off, probably the same as you guys.
I can see that.
Yeah, we made some rules. We sat down. I remember we sat down at the dinner table and we were like, okay, let's separate this. So I think one big thing that was messing us up was we were working in the same space. Some people can do it. Some people can work.
I had an office in our last apartment.
He had an office in our last apartment. And I was working outside of the office, but we were together 24/7 all the time. And some people can do this. I think for us, it was really helpful for him to go to a workplace and me to stay at home, just so we're not on top of each other, cooking at the same time, talking about work. That separation physically was huge. And then another really good tip was, and I read this online somewhere, but we have these certain rules where we don't talk about work in the bedroom and at dinner or when we're eating. So it just creates these spaces where it's our time for our relationship. And over dinner, we used to just talk about work because we'd be so excited about our day. Yeah. But now we just talk about life and things that are not related. And I think that really, really, really helped. Right?
Yeah, those are huge.
Yeah.
So you guys live together, right? You guys work together?
We work out together. We eat together.
Jesus. So it could be overwhelming, no? Do you guys have times where you do your own thing, girls' night, boys' night, or something like that, to kind of give each other some breathing room?
I programmed that into my weeks. And at first, it was everything together. And that's when I realized, let me get a co-working space. And I did. And now I'm, out of the house for 8-9 hours a day. Okay. And that's been huge.
It's good for him to just come home and I miss him and I want to hear about his day.
I like that, yeah.
Especially during lockdown, I feel like everyone was on top of each other and it was such a test for everybody. How does it work out?
Yeah.
And I think just having a little bit of, yearning for someone and missing them really helps strengthen the bond.
And now I'll, on the weekends, I'll go do my own thing.
He loves fishing.
I love fishing. So I'll go fishing for 8 hours, turn my phone off. And that's a huge recharge for me. I went on a camping trip with some of my buddies a week or two ago. We went to an island out in the Everglades and camped on it for 3 days. No cell phone service, no contact with her besides a few texts on my satellite phone. But for me, I program this stuff in because it recharges me on a really deep level. She knows when I come back from those days or those trips that I'm a whole different me, and then I have more to give to our relationship too.